Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Soda Pop, this is the left pedal, and last week we got to go corner carving in the 2015 Maserati Ghibli S Q4. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Ghibli's technical details and specs and see why that big four-door sedan performs as well as it does. Should be a pretty fun episode. We're going to cover a lot in the next few minutes, so let's get into it. The big selling point for Maserati cars is the engine. The standard Ghibli comes with a twin-turbocharged 3-liter dual overhead cam V6 that produces 345 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. The one we drove last week was the SQ4 model, which gets an additional 50 horses and all-wheel drive capabilities. Both engine options are direct injection and constructed from aluminum by Ferrari. The base model Ghibli gets all the power to the rear wheels. The Q4 has sensors and systems in place to push up to half the torque to the front wheels if it senses any loss in traction. This makes handling the car very predictable through tight corners. The front wheels get an open differential, with the rear getting a clutch pack that enables a 35% lock while accelerating and a 45% lock while braking. Both the base model and the SQ4 run their power through a rather responsive 8-speed automatic transmission, controllable through the shifter as well as the column-mounted flappy paddles. The car's steering was interesting during the test drive. The assisted rack and pinion was very responsive, but it felt loose and almost disconnected from the vehicle. A lot of luxury cars have this issue, and it's not really even an issue, it just doesn't have the raw performance feel that you'd want from a car with such an impressive engine and transmission. This didn't prevent it from being an impressive driver through the curves though. The car does handle. The Maserati sits on an independent double wishbone suspension in the front and an independent multi-link setup in the back. The system keeps the Maserati composed despite the fact that it's a four-door sedan weighing in at about 4,000 pounds. The car is 196 inches long, 77 inches wide, and 57.5 inches tall, with a wheelbase of 118 inches. It's a big heavy machine. The vehicle's weight and relatively small engine result in a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds for the base model and 4.5 seconds for the SQ4. A respectable time by any means, but still not as fast as you might expect from a brand like Maserati. The turbos also play a role in this. You get a pretty decent turbo lag when you launch from a stop. However, it's worth the wait. When the boost kicks in, it's like blasting off in a rocket ship. The car is shockingly quick in the high RPMs, and it was a unique driving experience in that it almost gets easier to drive the faster you go. Maserati clearly expects these vehicles to be pushed hard, and up in the high RPMs is where the Ferrari engine is comfortable. The base Ghibli tops out at 165 miles an hour. The SQ4 makes it to 175 miles an hour. The disc brakes also hold up well to abuse. Our SQ4 had 6 piston calipers in the front with 4 piston calipers in the rear. The brakes are capable of bringing the car from 60 miles an hour to a complete stop in a very impressive 105 feet. Each driving mode makes the Ghibli feel like a different vehicle. The car's throttle curve and pedal response are the most noticeable changes. The increased control and efficiency mode softens your input a little bit and makes the transmission shift smoother, giving the car the ability to handle itself in wet or icy conditions. The sport mode is very fun. It opens up a valve in the exhaust, making it instantly louder. The vehicle holds itself up higher in the RPMs and the pedals become more responsive. I spent most of the time driving the car in manual mode, which I liked a lot because the computer pretty much just leaves you alone and lets you shift the thing. If you don't want to shift it yourself and you're not trying to push it, the normal driving mode makes the car quiet and livable. This is when it really feels like a luxury car rather than a performer. The interior design is fancy with a lot of Italian flair. I thought the front seats were very comfortable, and in the road test I said it was as comfortable as it gets, but my girlfriend informed me later that the back seats were just a little bit too tight. If you're looking for a more luxurious Maserati, the slightly larger and fancy Quattroporte might be more your style. You'll find a lot of Chrysler parts inside the car. A lot of the small plastic switches and buttons are recycled from less expensive vehicles, and the quality does reflect that. Don't get me wrong though, the interior is quite nice, and sitting in the car gives you a feeling of success and control. I thought it was very comfortable. We averaged 16 miles a gallon while we had the Ghibli. However, we were driving the car pretty hard for a lot of those miles. Maserati claims the car can get up to 25 miles per gallon if, for some reason, you wanted to drive it slowly. These cars get a lot of backlash for a few different reasons. They depreciate like crazy, maintenance is expensive, and the car has cut some corners in build quality. There are nicer and faster cars for the price of a Maserati Ghibli. That's a fact. But keep in mind what this car is. It's an Italian luxury hot rod. The engine is built by Ferrari. Someone interested in buying one of these typically doesn't care that it's overpriced. It's expected to be. Before driving this car, I kind of always looked at Maserati as a sort of gaudy, show-offy brand, and it is. But the Ghibli, and especially the SQ4, is without a doubt a driver's car. It's a twin-turbo, corner-carving, 4-door sedan with one of the best exhaust notes out there. Do I think this car is worth $80,000+? No, I don't. I think it's definitely one of those cars that you buy with your heart rather than your head. You buy a Maserati because you want a Maserati. That's just the way it is. That being said, I don't think I've ever enjoyed driving a stock 4-door sedan more than this one. The transmission was perfect, the exhaust was perfect, and the all-wheel drive model handled better than most coupes. Thank you guys for watching, and a special thank you to everyone that subscribed and supporting us here at The Left Pedal. If you want to see more about the actual driving experience of the car, make sure to check out the video we did last week. I said multiple times in that video that the experience behind the wheel is more important than the numbers, and I stand by that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm Soda Pop, this is The Left Pedal, and I will see you next time.